Today on Mr. Media, I'll talk to actor Sasha... Now I just screwed up. Okay, I'll get it right. Roiz. Roiz.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Today on Mr. Media...
If you replace it... I'm so sorry. If you replace it like with a Y, the I with a Y, it makes it much easier.
Okay, and I wrote it down, so I'll try to get it right this time.
There we go.
And it's hard to imagine I'm the first one.
Yeah.
All right. Today on Mr. Media, I'll talk to Sasha Roiz, one of the stars of the new NBC drama Grimm, which airs Fridays at 9 p.m. Stick around. With word out this week that NBC has ordered more episodes of Grimm, I'm guessing he'll be in a pretty good mood. So much media, so little time. Who keeps track of it all? That would be me. This is Bob Andelman, and this is a Mr. Media interview. You know, MrMedia.com, MRmedia.com. Stop by and check it out. There are more than 900 archived celebrity and pop culture interviews for your listening pleasure. Mr. Media is recorded live before a studio audience of Grimm fairy tale fans who are just learning that Grimm is not the name of the biography of the Thing from the Fantastic Four in the new media capital of the world, St. Petersburg, Florida. Sasha Roiz has made the rounds of several genre favorites on his way to the role of Captain Renard on the new NBC drama series Grimm, which airs Fridays at 9 p.m. He played Marcus Diamond in the latest season of Sci-Fi's delightful Warehouse 13. He was also Sam Adama in Sci-Fi's Battlestar Galactica spinoff Caprica. And he did guest star roles in Castle and Terminator: The Sarah Connor Chronicles. Grimm, which is loosely adapted from the classic fairy tales, recently earned itself a little more life with NBC ordering a couple more episodes, and expectations are running high that a full season order could be next. Sasha Roiz, welcome to Mr. Media.
Thanks so much.
Hey, first of all, my daughter will never forgive you for killing off Jinx on Warehouse 13, and she said to tell you, she said to tell you that she's glad that Claudia killed your character, but she added nothing personal.
Well, Jinx, it was a lot of fun on Warehouse 13, and he is a very sweet character, certainly a lot more likable than my character, so I can understand.
Now, I got to ask you, because we love that show in this house, and we'll get to Grimm in a minute, but we love that show here. Was Warehouse 13 like any other acting gig it would be for you, or was it something special? And please lie and say it was something special.
It was something special. How convincing was that? It was definitely something special. For me, it was special because Jack Kenny, the showrunner, offered me the role, and it was one of the first times in my career where I had a certain fan base in the sci-fi world, and they wanted me to be a part of their project, and I'm a big fan of their work, and it was just an absolute pleasure to be there, and in all honesty, it was one of the most fun jobs I've had in a long time.
It was a great story arc. I mean, like I said, we love that show, and I think that was a fun storyline to follow. Yeah,
I'm glad you enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun for me too.
And as I mentioned, I mean, you've become one of kind of NBC Universal's go-to guys for these genre roles. And I wonder if that's a coincidence, or does it reflect any particular interest of your own?
I guess now that you mention it, it does appear that way. They've been very good to me, and I'm happy to navigate through this sci-fi genre, because before Caprica it was relatively new to me. So it's a lot of fun to be a part of it, and the fan base is tremendously supportive. So it's a lot of you get a lot of fulfillment from it.
They definitely are supportive that way. And so, how did you land the role of Captain Renard on Grimm, and was there any connection to these other roles?
Connection, maybe in the sense that, like you said, NBC was familiar with me, but I auditioned, and I came in kind of late in the process, and I think they were still trying to figure out who's going to play what, and they were definitely going in a very different direction with the character. Both as far as they were open to women, they were open to different races. They just, it was very open-minded, and it just kind of worked out. And so I'm thrilled to be a part of it. It's been an interesting journey so far.
So they were open to women in the role. Did they ever ask you to try doing it in drag, just to add another dimension?
Not yet, but who knows? It could go anyway. But so far, no. So far, I'm in flats still.
Well, I'm glad to hear that for your sake.
Yeah.
And I talked to your co-star Reggie Lee a couple weeks ago, and he's been on the show a couple times. Now, he seemed to feel, speaking of something special, he seemed to feel that there is definitely something special about Grimm. But what is it? I mean, how do you put your fingers on it and explain it to someone who maybe hasn't seen the show yet?
I think the fact that everyone in some way is familiar with the brand Grimm. They're familiar with that name. You've come across those fairy tales at some point in your life, so it's already like an easy show to sell in that regards, because there's something familiar in it, and but at the same time there's something quite unique too, because you don't see that mix of a police procedural mixed with a supernatural world in quite the way that we present it. And so I think it's a lot of fun for audiences to tune in and watch from week to week this new creature, that's partly from the fairy tales that they may know, partly concocted from, our writer's room, and these things come to life. I think it's just a really great addition to a Friday night schedule.
I think it's interesting. I know when I first heard of the show, I figure, okay, there's a show they're going to toss out there at 8 o'clock, but it's not an 8 o'clock show. I mean, it's a 9 o'clock show, which puts it somewhere between, family friendly and, hey, you really ought to be a little more adult.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised we're on at 9. To be honest with you, I mean, even 10 o'clock seems like pushing it, because we get pretty grisly on the show, and I'm always amazed at what they let us get away with, and just how horrific and at times violent and at times gory it can be. But it definitely is pushing the boundaries of 9 o'clock television, I think.
Not hard to imagine it a step further, and having been maybe having wound up on like a Showtime or an HBO as opposed to a network.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So, I'm quite pleased that NBC is standing behind us, and we're, getting a chance to explore this thing a little deeper every week.
Well, I wanted to ask you about that. I mean, the extra episodes order must be nice. Are you starting to feel more confident about a full season pickup?
I mean, I started feeling very confident when we were up against Game 7 of the World Series for our premiere night. And we were all just absolutely depressed at work because, we were all on pins and needles watching Game 6, hoping that Texas would take it. But, and somehow we still managed to get great numbers and great deal of viewers. And at that point, we realized that we were probably sitting on something pretty special.
And tell us what we can look forward to in the coming weeks for Captain Renard and obviously your character.
Well, as of tonight, you're going to start to see a lot more of the backstory of Captain Renard and who he really is and what he's all about. And so from week to week, we'll get a little bit more of a glimpse into what exactly it entails, this, all this sort of double talk that you've been seeing. What it's all about. So it's gonna present itself, especially tonight. So I think it'll be a pretty interesting episode.
Have you been given a sense of the backstory on this character beyond what we've seen? Do you have has it been drawn out for you? Like if Grimm goes 2, 3, 5 seasons, here's where Renard will go, or are you flying a little blind with the rest of us?
Not quite that deeply. We had a basic premise of the backstory, and from week to week there'll be some additions made here and there, and I have a certain direction that they've put me on, but beyond that, we had a pretty significant backstory, and now we're just kind of layering it from week to week.
And career-wise, as this continues, you pick up these episodes and hopefully move toward the full season pickup, how does this change your own career arc, compared to, say, where you were a year ago at this time?
Well, this has been a tremendous break for me, an opportunity for me. It's a major network. I mean, I had a great time on Caprica, but the transition from cable to major network is significant, and there's certainly a lot more viewers and eyeballs watching you from week to week. So it's definitely given me some greater traction in my career, and we'll see where it all leads. I mean, if the show continues the way it does, we'll be around for a little while, and I certainly hope we are.
I hope you're right. And folks, listen, you can see actor Sasha Roiz every Friday night at 9 p.m. on the NBC series Grimm. Sasha, can people find you online? Do you have a website? Do you Twitter or Facebook, any of that stuff?
They could find me on Twitter. It's just my full name, so Sasha Roiz at Twitter.
All right. Great. Well, Sasha Roiz, thank you so much for joining us on Mr. Media today, and good luck with the show.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Take care.
You too.
Bye-bye. For more original interviews, surf over to our main website, mrmedia.com, mrmedia.com. If you've enjoyed today's show, subscribe for free to Mr. Media via email, RSS, or iTunes, and you'll never miss a show. Another good idea? Download our new free Mr. Media mobile app in the Android market. You can also listen with a piece of string and a tin can in many parts of the Internet. Show your support of Mr. Media by supporting our sponsors, including Audible. To download your free audiobook today, go to audibletrial.com/radio. Again, that's audibletrial.com/radio for your free audiobook. We're also supported by thepartyauthority.us. Call DJ Ira for all your party entertainment needs nationwide at 1-800-DIAL-DJs or visit their website, thepartyauthority.us. If you've got an idea for a guest, a comment on today's show, or would like to advertise on Mr. Media Radio, email me directly at bob@mrmedia.com, mrmedia.com. You can also call our 24-hour listener line at 1-727-498-4711. Some messages may be used in an upcoming show. And unless you live next door to Mr. Media, there may be a toll charge. You can also follow Mr. Media on Facebook, Twitter, or our new YouTube and Vimeo video channels. Thanks so much for joining us today. I always appreciate you sharing a piece of your day with Mr. Media. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching.
Hi, this is Jeff Keane, or Jeffy from the Family Circus. Whenever I talk to people and I say, who's listening to Mr. Media? They say, not me, and I don't know.
Hey folks, you can hear Mr. Media while on the go now with Stitcher Smart Radio. Stitcher is a free news and talk mobile app available for your smartphone, whether you use an iPhone, iPod Touch, Android, BlackBerry Curve, or Palm Pre. And when you download Stitcher to hear Mr. Media today, you have a chance to win some real money. Downloading is quick and easy. Just find Stitcher in your smartphone's app store. Download it, it's free, takes seconds. Then, during registration, hit the promo code box and enter Mr. Media, that's MR Media, to get automatically entered to win $100. The latest episode of Mr. Media will be waiting for you in Stitcher's favorites right on your phone. You'll get access to lots of other amazing shows, too, always available to you on demand, no syncing. Some of my favorites include WTF with Mark Maron, Plus One Per Diem with Kevin Smith, and The Nerdist with Chris Hardwick. It's all free and all instant to you on Stitcher Smart Radio. And don't forget to win the money. Enter promo code Mr. Media, MR Media, when you register. And thanks for listening.
Hi, this is George Kennedy. I have a book out. It's called Trust Me. You know what the book is about? The book is about me looking you straight in the eye and telling you the truth about whatever. I tried really hard to tell the truth about everything that came across my way. I hope you get a chance to look at it. Thank you.